This is topic B on page 71, starting a new Access database. Once you've planned the design of your database, you're ready to create the database file and define its structure. You can create a database from a template or start with a blank database. I wanted to start from scratch. I'm going to launch my Access application from my Windows desktop. And remember, this takes us to our start screen. Any recent can be opened from the left. Any databases that are saved to your computer can be accessed through this link. But on this side, we have the option to create a blank desktop database. So we single click on that icon and it asks us to name our file right off the bat. So it's not like Word where we can start typing and then eventually go and save it to our computer. We have to initially save this before we even get in to create any details. So I'm going to, I think I already have one named example, so I'm just going to name this May 2020. From there, to the right of that, I have a little file icon, and I need to choose where I want to save that document. So I'm going to go to my home drive in Access. I'll go in my Getting Started with Access folder. And then you can see the file name field is automatically already populated for me. And I can just click OK to save it in that position. And it's listed right there for me. Home drive, Access, Getting Started with Access, and then my file name. And I can click my Create button from here. It will create my database, and it automatically creates a starting point for me, which is a default table named Table 1. It's always going to start with that name with one table. No other objects created for you. In that table, you can see it launched the tab already. It creates an ID field for you. You don't have to use that. You can rename it if you want just by hovering your cursor over it, right-clicking, and you can select Rename Field. So let's say I was making a database of all of my students. Maybe I didn't want the ID field. Maybe I wanted something like Student ID. I don't want to create any spaces in here. We'll get to that down the line, but it's a good idea not to have spaces within your field names. All right. So we'll start with student ID, and let's say the next column we wanted was their last name. You can see it says click to add, and when I click to add, it's automatically going to give me a drop-down menu. And these are the data types that you can choose from for your different fields. So when you define a new field, you must specify the type of data that the field's going to hold. So your options, you have short text. So this can include text, it can include numerical digits, symbols, any type of characters, and it has a limit of 255 characters. So that is your short text. Then you have your number data type, and that will only hold numeric values, so no alphabetic entries. Currency, this holds monetary values such as dollars, so the numbers will not be rounded during any calculations if you perform them. You have date and time fields. You have yes, no. Don't worry about the lookup and relationship right now. You have rich text. So this is pretty much like plain text that only Microsoft programs can recognize. You have long text. Again, this is similar to short text, but this holds much more information, 2 gigabytes of data. Attachments. You can attach any type of file to a record if you want to. Hyperlinks, such as an email address or a website. And then you have calculated fields. This produces a result through a calculation. So for last name, I would probably choose short text. I don't think anybody's last names are going to be more than 255 characters, hopefully. And it automatically names that field 1. you can see that it's highlighted, so I can automatically start typing to overwrite that and enter that into the field here. Then I could click to add a third field. Again, we'll do short text, and we'll do first name for this. Maybe I want to add their birthday. Click to add, and the data type I would want for this would be date and time. We'll do DOB. And then click to add, and we'll do number fields for their phone number. All right, I'm going to stop here. Now, you can see it takes a little time going across and adding these header fields across. There's another way that I can do that. This view that I'm in right now, which is the tabular view with the rows going across and columns up and down, this is known as data sheet view. The other view that we can work in for our tables is through design view. And to switch to design view, there's a few ways you can do that. Easiest way is to right-click your tab and switch to design view by selecting it here. You can also go to views on your ribbon, switch to design view from here, or even on your status bar, which is pretty easy as well. Your views are listed here, data sheet, and you have a button for design view as well. So either way, my go-to again is the right click on the tab, and select design view. Now you can see it automatically prompts you to name your table. Again, that's that default table 1 that we started off with. So maybe I want to name this TBL students. And we give it that prefix just so we know that it's a table. You don't necessarily have to. So I'll name that table students, click OK, and it brings me into design view. You can see on my tab, my name has been updated for the table here and also in my navigation pane. Now, for our design view, just worry about the top portion for now. We'll get into the details in our grid at the bottom later on. But you can see we have just 2 columns here, our field names and then our data types. So all of those fields that I've already entered are here with their data types that were assigned to them. So if I wanted to continue, I could do address here, tab over. I want that short text. I can move to the next field here, and we can do their city, keep that as short text, state, short text, and we'll do zip code, and from that drop down we can choose the number. So design view, you can see how much more quickly I was able to enter those additional fields there just by typing it in, tabbing over, typing it in, tabbing over. I could have easily just hit the letter N here, not even had to click the drop down. When I tabbed over and it said short text with that selected, I could hit N and it would move to the number field as well. You can see, and then I could just tab over and keep going. So, good typists can quickly put in many fields very quickly in your design view, as opposed to that data sheet view where you're constantly click to add a new field, then type it in. Click to add a new field, choose your data type, type in the new name, yada, yada, yada. So your data sheet view takes a little more time there. In design view, you can see the student ID. I have this little icon in the very left narrow corner, narrow column to the left here. Has a little key there. That means that this particular field is a primary key. And this is a field that's configured to require a unique value in each record. So this means no student IDs can be exactly the same. They have to be unique numbers, which obviously you would do. You would never assign the same student ID number to multiple students. So every table has to have a field that has a unique identifier in it. They can't be the same. And that will be represented by that primary key icon in your design view. So I entered the city, state, and zip code additional fields here. if I wanted to switch back to design view, switch back to datasheet view, it's going to prompt me to save my table. Click yes, and you can see those additional headers have been added to my datasheet view for my table. Okay, so again, design view lets you quickly add your different fields much more quickly than your datasheet view. All right, your next video will be Activity 2.2 on page 72.